so beautiful outside. Starting with the shoulders, of course, because I tell you, doing the shoulders like this all the time, I feel so much better because I've got the scoliosis and this shoulder stays back better. I don't have pain after sleeping. Like everything stays more in place. So I'm a believer in always doing the shoulders. Let's start with that. And because this gets pretty easy, think about really keeping those shoulder blades together in the back, and then it's harder, keeping those shoulder blades tight. One more. Big stance, reaching out and crunch it in. Use your abs, use your back, use your abs, use your back. Other side. One more. Ooh. Okay, elbows forward. Two more. Oh yeah. Every time I feel that one. Let's do the pecs and the back. Or challenge yourself. Two more. Roll it out. One more for the shoulders. Big stance. Really wrap around core nice and tight. That is good. We did the shoulders. Set it down. Relax them out. Okay, next we're gonna move on to working the sides of our core. So grab middle weight, heavy weight. We're gonna do keeping the hips straight forward and only turning the top of the body. So to do that, you really need to engage those side muscles. To keep those hips forward, you can also think about, I'm pushing this hip forward so that it doesn't turn when I turn. And you can think of it that way. like doing a side crunch. Let's do one more on each side. If this starts to get too hard, bring it in closer. If it's too easy, extend it out farther. Grab 2 weights. I'm gonna do my middle weights. Start nice and tall. Soften the knees, tuck your belly in so that your back is fairly straight. And you're gonna let the weight hang on one side and use the other side to tighten and pull up. You need to use your brain for this. I know, no. Because you're gonna be tempted to just use the side that's being crunched, but I want you to tighten the other side to pull up. As if we're just like dead weight on this side, you can only activate this side to pull it up. But you also have to keep those abs tight so that your back is not too curved, or you might feel it pinching in the middle of your back. I think this is good. That's good. Let's not overdo it, because we will do it one more time. If you have your middle weights, keep your middle weights. And let's do the fly. You can do this in a stance, or just tall, knees, hips, shoulders back. Ready? I'm not doing this too high because I tend to get it into my neck. I'm just thinking that I've got a circle around my belly, and I'm just staying in that zone. One more. Keeping those same weights, moving into the tricep. I'm gonna do this from a stance. So shoulder width apart, big step forward, big step back. Elbows behind you, keep them there the whole time, reach, reach, reach. Okay, next let's switch legs. Neutral spine though, you guys should be looking on the ground somewhat ahead of you. One more, or until you've evened out. Let's set those down. Relax. Okay, we're doing hammer curls. So pick your heavy weight. If you stand normally and you just let the weights hang, that is a straight arm. But when we're doing the hammer curls, we're never actually going to have a straight arm. We're going to always have a slightly engaged arm. So when you come to the lower point, like this is it. That's as straight as it's going to get. Otherwise, it's too easy. Okay? And it can get hard on your elbows. It's always a little engaged here. And if this bothers you for any reason, just move into these. One more. I know, it's probably like 25. That's what happens when I talk every time. Every time. Legs. Yeah. Okay. I don't want you to think that you have to do a really big stance when you do the lunge. I want you to think about, I am a comfortable hip width apart, and I'm gonna stay that way. So don't have your legs be on one line. They need to stay apart. And I don't want my top knee to go beyond my toes. So if I want to go lower than that, I have to take a big step back. But step back on that railroad track. And then I'm gonna let my heel come up, but keep my toes facing the same direction. And I'm thinking about my body as like in an elevator shaft, and it's just moving straight up and down. It's one of those skinny, you know, elevators from Paris. Fit like one person. That's what I think of anyway when we do that. So grab your weights. I'm gonna pick my middle weight. Stand a comfortable hip width apart. Take a step forward and then take a step back, but look at your feet and make sure they're not on one line. Okay, now go. Just like 6 to 8 dips. And then switching your stance, and take your time. Hip width apart. Take a big step forward with the other leg. Take a little step back with the other leg. You don't need to go super low to engage those muscles. Whew. Also, you're supposed to breathe like each time. I know it's a lot to think about. Okay, let's do our kickbacks. And I'm gonna do just one-handed today so I can use a little wall support. Bottom leg does the work. Bring that body all the way back to the start position. Full breath. Doing 6 to 8 of these. We did set one, look at that. Let's get a big stretch in. Breathe. Wiggle. When you are ready, get a little water before we do the second set. Okay, grab your small weights. Second set, belly in, shoulder blades together, and keep them that way. Otherwise, this is too easy. Last one. A little bit bigger stance. Back muscles, crunch it in. In breath reach, out breath crunch. One more. Switch the arms. One more. Smaller stance. Roll those shoulders for a moment. Get ready, elbows forward, and go. One more. One more. Big stance. Core tight. Two more. Wow, do you feel that? That's growth happening right there. Everything should be so warm. Ready for the, grab your middle weight or your heavy weight if you want to do that. Hips stay forward, so figure out how to help them stay forward. So if I'm turning one direction, that hip wants to follow. So I'm going to think about pushing that other hip forward. That might help you to keep those hips in line and really use all this. And let's do it. And this is good. Let's not go too crazy with that. Grab your 2 weights. Lift tall. And soften the knees and tuck the belly in. We're trying to straighten the curve in the spine for this one. Hang it down. And then this is just, this side is not active anymore. Activate the other side. Let's make this our last one. You feel it? Learning how to engage those. Okay, keeping these same weights, we're gonna do our flies. You can do that from a stance or just nice and tall, bring it forward. And again, I'm thinking that I've got this spare tire around my middle. And we're just gonna trace that. You can, of course, do it higher and more out, but if you do that, really try not to get into your neck. I'm counting this as 5. One more. Keep those same weights in your hands. Your hands are gonna be so strong. Really. And this time I really like to do this one in a stance for me. But however you want to do it, get those elbows up and go. Switching the stance. Now you can set those down. That was a big sit down. Stretch them out a little. We have hammer curls waiting for us. Just waiting. So grab your heavy weights. Okay, engage the arms and go. More. Set that down. Ooh, relax them out a little. We have just the legs left and then a small stretch out and you have done it. I'm gonna grab my middle weights for these. Okay, comfortable shoulder width apart. Big step forward, big step back, but stay on those railroad tracks. Go. One more for me on this side. Okay, switch. If you feel anything in your knee, adjust the width of your stance. It may need to be a little smaller or a little bigger. or maybe you're going too low. You don't need to do that. Okay, that was it for me. And for my kickbacks, I'm going to hang on to the wall and just use one, but you can also use two and work on your balance. Six to eight. Okay, stay standing. We're going to stretch out a little bit. So feet shoulder width apart, bend one knee, lift the other toes up, bring it forward. You can grab the foot if you can reach it comfortably. Let's do the other one. One more breath. Grab your hands behind your back. Reach back. You know what, actually, if you have a wall, put one arm on the wall and take a step forward with the opposite side. So my stretching arm and the matching leg are behind me, and you should be stretching your bicep. And then let's switch. So the stretching arm and the matching leg are behind me. If you're on the wall, stay there. Let's grab the leg. Switch. Stretching the triceps. Push back with your head. Other side. Grab an arm, pull it down, tip and forward. Other side. Let's do a few cactus arms. In breath forward, out breath look up. In breath forward, out breath look up. One more.